Hi, you're listening to Childless and Moving Onward. This is the place where we talk about thriving in life when you're a woman who is childless, not by choice, regardless of the road that brought you to childlessness. Welcome to episode 62 of Childless and Moving Onward. This is a podcast where I explore the complexities of being childless by circumstance and not by choice. I'm Gail Miller, your host. I'm a speaker, life coach, physician, and I am childless by circumstance and not by choice. So I have walked and continue to walk this same journey with you as you are. And while we each have different reasons for being childless, not by choice, the bottom line of it all is that the pain of all of this is painful. There's no other way to say that. It's incredibly painful. No person's reason for being childless when you don't want to be is more or less painful, more or less valid. Each experience is just different. And all of the feelings that come along with this are valid. And we each deserve to recognize our worth and to get to a point in life of finding meaning, which is possible. Now, I'm trying something new with this episode. I have a little guest that you hopefully won't hear from. My dog, one of my dogs is on my lap, so hopefully this will go well. For those of you who don't know, I adopt hard-to-adopt dogs, or what are considered hard to adopt. And I have a brother and sister who were born deaf and blind, and they are very sensitive with their other senses. And so when anybody is walking by our house, especially if they have a dog, they sense it and they bark. And so it's nice out today, really nice out. So there's lots of people out walking, and he is particularly barky today. And so it makes it very difficult to record and leave the noise out so you can hear. So he's sitting on my lap right now because that keeps him quiet and keeps him feeling safe and secure. Now, the next thing to talk about is I want to give a shout out to Sherry for writing. It's been a year since I've discovered you. You have helped me in so many different ways. Validating the pain of being childless, how to breathe through the pain, knowing it's okay to have the pain, and working through it. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for writing that, for being a listener, for trusting me with these conversations and these tips. And I'm glad to have you in my audience. And I'm always thrilled to hear that this podcast is helpful to others. And I'm so grateful to you for letting me know. Okay, so now on to the topic of today's podcast. Has anybody else had the experience of being told, Happy Mother's Day? On Mother's Day, the time leading up to it, even the day after still. You know, it's the weekend, it's the week leading up to it, and I was told a few times, Happy Mother's Day, by cashiers, a teller, a receptionist, no one who knew me, people who knew nothing about me, but they wished me a happy Mother's Day. Why? Well, I truly believe they were well-meaning. That's not the point here. I don't think this was meant to be harsh or hurtful. They were well-meaning, but they assumed. Now, the sting that comes with this reminder that, no, it's not a time of celebration for me, and it's a sting of the reminder of what I don't and never will have. And all of that is bad enough. But what really hit me this year was the assumption of motherhood just because I'm a woman. It's more than just a casual mistake. It's a message, a subtle way of communicating what's considered normal. Motherhood is considered the default, the norm, right? And I'm going to talk about that. That's really the point of this. But first, I do want to take a little bit of time to delve into the feelings of loss that get highlighted by this well-meaning, unintentional, painful comment or painful wish. So for women who are childless, not by choice, this constant assumption that every woman is a mom can be especially painful. Each Happy Mother's Day wish is a harsh reminder, again, of what we're missing. And while, as I said, they're well-meaning, it doesn't remove the reality. Instead, it can reopen wounds. It can reinforce that feeling of less thanness, if you will. And that's not really a word, but I'm going to make it one. That feeling of being incomplete. And it can even bring up the shame that's common. Now, there's nothing to be ashamed of when you're childless, but the feeling of shame is very common among people who are childless, not by choice. And those comments or the assumption that every woman is a mother is a way of othering women who don't have children, whether it's by choice or not. It's also a way of society telling us that we have to justify every decision. Whether it's about a woman who is child-free, who chose to be child-free, whether it's about her decision, or whether it's about the decisions that have been made by those of us who are not child-free, we don't have children, and it's not by choice. Every option we've had in life, every step we've taken, every action, everything we've ever done seems to bring up the need for us to defend what we did, whether or not we deserve to have kids or deserve this pain that we live with. And also whether or not we can say we're childless not by choice. Because of course, people will take our situations and say, oh, but you had a choice. You could have done, name whatever it is they're going to fill in the blank with. So it's this constant need or this constant message from society. You need to justify your existence. You need to justify what you've done. Society sees our lives as one being lives that need to be explained to others and get permission for our feelings of pain. Society sees our lives as lacking. And this message, this assumption, oh, you're a woman, so you must be a mom, so Happy Mother's Day, reinforces it. It reinforces that motherhood is the norm. So, if motherhood is the default, if that's what's considered the norm, what does it say about those of us who aren't moms? By default, to many people, we're viewed as abnormal, as bad, as wrong. If you're not a mom, you're looked at as if there is something wrong with you. And it's all a reminder that society sees motherhood as the expected and the correct path for women. If you're not a mom, you're an exception, a deviation from the norm. The assumption that every woman is a mother ignores the diversity among women, the complexity, and the holistic nature of our lives. And it sees a single role as being the whole value of each woman. Not all women become moms, as we all know. But the assumption that every single one of us is reduces our feminine identity to motherhood and motherhood alone. It overlooks the myriad life experiences, the different aspirations and personal qualities each woman's life encompasses. This idea, this assumption, removes individuality. It says that the only way a woman can be fulfilled or has value is through motherhood. With this message, there's no openness to each woman's distinct perspective. When motherhood is treated as the default, it leaves little room for the variety of women's experiences. It tells us in subtle ways we are the exception, not the rule. We don't belong is the message. It also says we're invisible. It says that our stories, our struggles, our identities are somehow other and not okay. It hints that womanhood is incomplete without children and that our value is measured by our ability to nurture and raise a new generation. When people automatically wish every woman a happy Mother's Day, it reinforces the idea that being a mom isn't just celebrated, it's expected. And if you are not one, you are not worthy. But here's the truth, as we all know all too well, not all women are mothers. As I said, as you already all know, not all women can be mothers. Not all women want to be mothers. But our worth is defined only by motherhood. Our stories are rich. They're complex. And they're valuable whether or not we have children. We are here. And we are whole. Our lives mean something, even if they don't fit the mold. Now, the reality is you may not be at the point in your journey of childlessness to be able to see this or to be able to believe it. But it's true and it's possible to get to the place where you can see that you deserve to be recognized for who you are, not who others assume you to be. You can get to a place where you feel life is meaningful, but it doesn't have to be lived on other people's terms to be meaningful. So what do we do about it? Well, here's some strategies. The first is to acknowledge and honor your feelings. Recognize that it's normal to feel grief, anger, sadness when confronted with these assumptions. Allow yourself the space to feel and process these emotions without judgment. But the second part of that, after you've acknowledged and you recognize these emotions are valid, the second part of that is to make sure you are not incorporating that message into your belief system that motherhood is the norm and therefore by default you are not normal, you are less than. Don't allow yourself to internalize that belief. And if you already have, as many of us have, that's something that needs to be worked on. It's not true. You are worthy. You are whole. You are normal, whether you're a mother or not. The second thing is, and I talked about this before Mother's Day, but even still since then, create your own meaningful rituals. Now, again, we're past Mother's Day. We're now past Father's Day. But the sting can linger a long time. So if you haven't already done something for yourself, do it now. You deserve it. Do something that is special to you. Remind yourself that you matter. And if you have already done something special for yourself, doesn't mean you can't do more. You matter. Take care of yourself. Don't wait for anybody else. You don't have to be a mom to matter. And you don't have to wait for somebody else to take care of you, to do that something special. And then the next strategy is that you have the opportunity, for those who are ready, to educate. Again, this is something you need to feel ready for. But when you feel able, you can respectfully educate others that not every woman is a mom. And that motherhood doesn't define any woman's worth. It does take space to feel ready to do that, but it also takes knowing who your audience is, knowing that you have or possibly have a receptive person who's willing to listen and think about it, consider, oh, maybe there's another right way of thinking. Maybe there's something else that I need to be considering. Now, if you know it's someone, like there are certain people who have said it, who I know if I try to politely educate them, they're going to just dig their heels in and further push into this idea that being a mom is the norm. You know the type, the ones who double down when you try to kindly let them know how this can be harmful. But if it's someone who you know will listen and be open to understanding, or you sense they may be, then do that. Try to educate them politely. Raise awareness. So now that this particular difficult time of the year is over, there's never a time when that little feeling of, yeah, I wish I was a mom ever goes away. But there are different times of the year that are harsher than others. And so this has been a particularly hard time of the year. Mother's Day always is, and Father's Day can be too. But now that it's over, this is a good time, if you're feeling ready, to reset. You don't have to wait for New Year's to refresh. Get outside, get fresh air, try a new hobby, join a support group, do something new for you. If you're not already in the Childless Not by Choice community, where you are with other women who get you, and you're getting other women who can provide support, who you can support back. If you're not already in one, find one. I have a free support group, monthly support group. I also have a page for free resources on my website. You can go there and find the support group and other resources, but go to my website, pathonward.com, to the free resources page of that, and you can look through and join the support group if you'd like. All right, that's it for today, and I'll be back with you next week. Thanks for listening to Childless and Moving Onward. I hope this episode was helpful to you. If you liked what you heard, you can get more help from me with my guide, Steps to Overcome Self-Doubt and Feel Worthy When Being Childless Isn't by Choice. Click on the link in the episode notes, or you can find it on my website, pathonward.com. Until next week, thanks again for listening.